Ever wondered why you aren't climbing the ranks in Marvel Rivals? Well, I've put over 150 hours into making my way to the top and have climbed from bronze to nearly GM. I'm going to reveal mistakes that players are making in their ranked matches, heroes to learn before going in, and most importantly, my secret for flying up the leaderboards. But first, what is the biggest mistake that players are making before their match even begins? It usually goes something like this. Insta-locking heroes can work, especially if that player is actually dominant in their role. However, this can force teammates to pick and play roles they aren't comfortable on. Because we want to climb, we need to be a good flex option for the team. I'd recommend learning to play at least 2 heroes in each role in order to offer your team synergies. This becomes especially important in diamond or higher lobbies, so you aren't useful when your main gets banned. For example, in Season 0, I forced Black Widow in every match, and even though I was good with her, I ended up hard stuck plat because she's still fairly weak and doesn't really synergize with the team well. Heading over to the biggest mistakes that players are making in-game, first we need to understand what our responsibilities are based on our role. Vanguard heroes are primarily responsible for putting pressure on the front line and creating space for the rest of the team. This doesn't mean pressing W with a shield up at all times. For example, good Venom players know that they can create space and pressure the front line by diving in and harassing the back line. This causes Duelist and Vanguard heroes on the opposing team to peel to the backline, in turn giving your team space. The duelist role is simple: peel for your strategists and eliminate everything out of place. Use the hero's kit to do this, however, make sure that you aren't out of place yourself. If you were playing a melee duelist, usually you need to go in and backline the enemy team to get picks. However, after that job is completed, you need to be returning to the front line to assist your team. If you don't get back in time or die in the process, you become the problem regardless of your stats. Strategist's primary focus is to hold the back line while supporting and healing your team. If you pushed past your vanguards and duelists when you aren't using an ultimate ability, you again become the problem. The second biggest mistake that I see players make is ultimate timing. Maintaining ult advantage is like having a reach advantage in boxing. While fighters with less reach can still win, they have to be extra skilled in close quarters tactics. The same can be said for rivals. The team without ult advantage can still win, however, they really need to outclass their opposing counterparts. One of the better ways to keep advantage is by baiting out enemy ultimates. This works best by using an ultimate with less value like Hawkeye or Mr. Fantastic to hopefully force an enemy strategist to use an ult. This will leave their team open to a devastating ult like Punishers or Bucky's. Another way to maintain advantage is by simply trying to survive an enemy ult without using any of your own. This option is tricky, but with practice it can be done. The point is, the team that maintains ult advantage is usually the one that wins the game. And finally, a massive mistake I see players making is not knowing or refusing to swap heroes when they aren't getting enough value. So I play a lot of Wolverine. In the right hands, he is devastating, and it's a big part of why I've been able to climb as high as I have. However, as soon as I see the enemy team has only one tank, I'm swapping. Because that Wolverine is a tank buster. I know that his value is lowered with less tanks. Being able to acknowledge that swaps are necessary is going to immediately level up your game. You could be amazing, a 10 out of 10 hero, but if you're being countered, you need to swap and swap quickly. Take the 50% ult charge if you have to. There are a few heroes that you should absolutely be playing though throughout Season 1, as they are currently dominating the meta. For Vanguards, we have Magneto and Doctor Strange. Both of these heroes have the ability to survive an onslaught from Wolverine, and like I said, he's devastating this season. Not to mention that their utility is very valuable to the team, especially with Magneto's ultimate being able to outdamage a Cloak and Dagger ultimate. For duelists, I have 4 recommendations: 2 ranged heroes and 2 melee. For the ranged heroes, I recommend playing Winter Soldier and Storm. Both of them have insane ultimate abilities that generate a ton of value. They have solid damage outputs and great synergies with the team. For the brawler characters in the game, I recommend playing Wolverine and or Black Panther. We already covered Wolvie and his tank busting abilities, but Black Panther is crucial for deleting enemy backlines and pestering the strategists. This causes a lot of ults to be popped in the backline, which helps you maintain advantage, not to mention that playing down a healer basically equals a loss. And for strategists, I recommend learning Rocket, Luna, and Cloak and Dagger. Their synergies seem to work the best this season, and their ultimates are fully capable of winning team fights. A couple of honorable mentions is Namor for the backline support. He definitely can help you take out characters like Spider-Man or Black Panther. Thor for the Storm synergy. Punisher to punish flying heroes, and Mantis for damage boost, and Penny Parker for defense objectives. At the beginning of the video, I talked about my secret to climb ranks in Marvel Rivals, and I'll reveal that now. Here it goes. Don't be a keyboard warrior. Nothing will lose you matches faster than telling your team to swap or tilting them in the chat. Intent is lost via text, and so will your games. If you need to get a swap, do it politely over voice comms, and this will make a massive difference when you play. Earlier in the video, we also talked about Wolverine and his ability to dominate the playing field. If you want to learn to dominate Season 1 ranked with Wolverine, make sure to watch this video on screen. Leave a comment and let me know if this helped you rank up. Subscribe if you're new, and leave a like so more beautiful people like yourself can find the video.